morning show. I'm your girl, April. I'm your host. Do me a favor, follow all the mods and the Caphouse members, and don't forget to join the house. Please refrain from talking over anybody. This is the safest, unsafe space, and we're gonna have us a good time. I got some good topics for y'all. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and kick this thing off. If you ain't never had a mental illness before, welcome to motherfucking Peru. Peru's government says that the LGBTQ plus, they are mentally ill, and she has officially changed the laws to legally classify any transgender, non-binary, or any intersex people as such. Basically, I low-key agree. I have no problem with what you choose to do with your body and who you choose to do it with. But once you start doing all that extra stuff that they got going on, yeah, at this point, it's something wrong with the brain, and that's how I feel. So, what y'all feel about that? Let me hear you run your mouth.
I mean, wasn't the same thing in America? Like most places have it listed as a mental illness, like and shit. Most of a lot of these countries outside of America is actually doing a lot of banning and working against the gay community. Right or wrong? Do I take it as a right or wrong thing? I don't be caring about that aspect. It's just everybody has different cultures, and in their culture they ain't playing that shit. And shit, I mean, they standing 10 on what they stand for. I can applaud on that. Any nigga standing 10, I can applaud them.
In a sense, I do agree because the way they are doing it is okay. So the only reason why I can see they're acting in this such a manner is because the way how I guess they see America doing it. Because at first it's cool and all that, yeah, be you know what I'm saying? That's great and all that. But the way how it's going is it's not only just for the adults. This is not going into where it's affecting the kids now. And that right there, I can see where a lot of people would disagree on heavily with that one when it's affecting the children. So that's why I also I kind of do agree with them banning and stuff and understanding it because they want to protect probably the instance of their own children because the way how it's been affecting things, because the way how things have been going and the way how they've been having so much power, so much control that they are making this thing. It's so nationwide known. It's like they are bigger than everything else right now. And it's just insane on how that is. Like it's just we put them on top of everyone else. Like I have nothing against the LGBTQ whatever. You know I don't have nothing against them at all. But it's just the way how they have so much power, like literally so much power that they are affecting nations to literally ban them. Like doesn't that sound kind of crazy that they are literally banning you from doing something like that because of how bad it's getting? Like just no one has ever noticed that? Like no one?
I definitely did because at first, everybody's like, okay, it's cool, we don't care. But now it's really getting out of hand. Like it's starting to involve politics, kids, shit, just us, our everyday lives at that. You feel me? So I'm on their side when it comes to classifying them as a mental illness, because at this point it's something wrong with them. Because there's no way in hell we pushing this shit this hard.
Well, I can look at it in two different ways because America isn't the stronghold when it comes to the gay community. I think Brazil is. I think Brazil is number one when it comes to the gay community. I think we're in the top five, but we're not number one or two when it comes to that. Do we have bad examples when it comes to it? I can say yes. Is there examples of where there's a bigger community or bigger population of gay people and none of this stuff is going on? Yes. So they have two sides to that. But I think that they probably did what used to be done. They really sat down and did the psychology and the science behind this. And we need to dig deeper into that, why they came up with it's a mental illness. Did they do the science or did they just go off with the craziness that they're seeing going on? Because I can't put all the blame on the gay community. There are straight people that's also being extremely crazy and doing crazy things to the gay community as well. Like it may be a reaction, but if you think that this is a mental disorder and you don't have one, then why are you reacting in a way that you have a mental disorder as a straight person? So I see what y'all saying, but maybe they just did the science and they're just like scientifically it is.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that as well. But like I said, I just think it as I'm seeing it, like I said, how it's affecting. That's all I'm looking at. I'm just not. I don't have nothing against. Like I said, it's just the way how it looks, how it's portrayed. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it at all. There's nothing wrong with being gay and nothing like that. That's just do you. Like I said, I just don't like the way how it's affecting like how it's been manipulated out past that, you know, like that's the only thing is. But yeah, you're right though. Like I don't know other countries that do it bigger. Like I just know from what I know in America. I don't know really outside of Brazil. I've never really looked into any outside of the other countries or states really like that that's really been doing as much as we have. Like I said, I just know it's like because since we have like such a big platform, especially because America, like we have like people like the Kardashians. I can't remember what's his name. One of the Kardashians who was I can't think of his name right now, but yeah, usually because we have a bigger platform because it's America, you know, people look at us for like entertainment or social media a lot of the time. So when it comes to that, that's why I look at it as from that standpoint at least. That's what I see. But then again, that may just be my algorithm basically. So I just have to probably look out more and see what more this could be called. But I do
I
agree. Yes, we should have that though. We definitely should understand why they're saying is it a mental illness or is it just saying it just because they feel like they're being threatened and they feel like they're trying to change and they feel like they need to protect their country by banning it.
I can see that. I just wanted to name the countries with a higher gay population than America. You got Brazil, Spain, United Kingdom, Netherlands, Colombia, Australia, New Zealand. All has a higher gay population than us, and then three up under them is Germany, France, and Canada. I think that's the top 10. And America, out of those, America is the only one that you hear this craziness about. Is it like? That's why I was saying like I understand, but I like if that's the case, then I can't agree with what they're doing because just to take America, which is even number one with the gay population, and say, oh, America is showing the craziness. America shows craziness no matter if you're gay or not. America is just a crazy place in general. So if they're using that as the reason, I cannot agree. If they did the science, I can stand by it. I don't think there's like that many examples of craziness when we're not even top. Like now that I see this, we're not even top 5 when it comes to gay population. I don't think they can use that excuse.
I think it's more so that it's now getting out of hand. Like if they didn't do the scientific method and all that shit to get their answers, I feel like it's really because it's starting to get out of hand. Again, being gay is not nothing new. This is not a trend that just started a couple years back. People been gay since slavery. God damn it, like it's been around for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. So the fact that now billions of years later, whatever the case may be, Peru decides that okay, y'all doing too fucking much, and at this point y'all got to be mentally ill, like something is wrong with y'all. And I think that's probably more so where it was coming from because it's not nothing new. So for them to out of nowhere come up with this, it has to be because like bitch, this is getting outrageous now. At first, nobody cares if that's what y'all want to do. Cool, you feel me? That's y'all. But now, y'all are now starting to affect everybody else who don't give a fuck about what y'all got going on.
That's why I keep trying to figure out like where else is it? Where else is this gay community have this big effect that outside of America? Like we don't see Peru complaining. We don't see Colombia, Netherlands, United Kingdom, Spain, Brazil. We don't hear none of these other people saying what America is saying. I don't think their impact is as big as we think it is. Just in America is one thing, but in general, I don't think their impact is as big as everybody think it is.
But we also have to remember we don't know what they looking to. We don't know if they only looking into America. You feel me? That's just what we know from the story. So no telling like what the hell they actually did. Because like you said, we're not even in the top 3.
They call it a chemical and hormonal balance. Like you can be born with a chemical and hormonal balance. That's why they classify it as a mental illness.
Okay, I learned something new today.
Absolutely. Absolutely, because we
I
all
ain't gonna
know.
lie, that sound like just a real intelligent way to push an agenda to me.
It's not an intelligent. It's not to push an agenda. Like these studies have been going on way before anybody thought of it as an agenda. Like it is a real scientific thing. You can be born with chemical and hormonal balances the same way as the rest of all the mental illnesses. Mental illnesses is coming from chemical imbalances in your brain. That's why they act the way they act. And if we want to disregard science, what are we talking about? The agenda was to take away the fact that those things was going on and say everything except what is actually going on. Now, if we bring it back and go back to the root of things and saying that you having a chemical and hormonal balance, that's the reason you feel that way, then we will be fighting against the agenda.
While we speaking about our young ladies, right? 36-year-old Amanda Huss was denied a partial liver transplant offered by her boyfriend. After the doctors found out she was drinking while she was out of the hospital, they basically told her that they will no longer be able to do the surgery. Apparently, Miss Mamas had been drinking since she was a teenager, and it turned into addiction as she got older. She has been on life support for the past 3 months due to liver failure. Um, Even with knowing this, right, she still decides to drink outside of the hospital and basically signing her own fucking death wish. Then on top of that, she was previously married, right? And her husband died from the same thing. He was on the wait list for a liver transplant, and he decided to drink. So the doctors denied his liver transplant, and he died weeks later. Now they saying that she has a few weeks to live, maybe 1 month max.
I mean, rest in peace.
Pure stupidity.
Yeah, she brought it up on herself. Really, if you're gonna continue drinking, I mean, that's wild. People are crazy as hell, man. That's some crazy shit.
It's
I mean,
not. It happens all the time in the
yeah,
medical
I was just
field.
gonna say you can't really go too hard on. She had it, and it started early. Like that shit hard.
Yeah, it happens all the time in the medical field. That's just like with the people on my 600-pound life. Before that man do the surgery on you, you gotta stop, eat, you gotta lose weight. And if you don't lose the amount of weight that you lose, he gonna tell you the same thing. I can't do work on you. Oh well. And they gotta go live their life. Fat as shit. So yeah. She didn't wanna stop drinking, so now she gotta live her life with that fucked up liver. Oh well. That's her problem.
Yeah, it's all about decisions at the end of the day. And she made her decision. You feel sorry for stories like that, but addiction a crazy thing. You can't just assess the situation how it's just a normal person. That's a whole different level.
Well, this is the thing here, and you talk about addiction. Yeah, I have empathy for people that deal with any type of addiction, but when it comes to any type of organ transplant, do you know how expensive that is? And
You
if
know how long
I've
people wait?
exactly, Quez, I had an uncle, one of my very close family members, my uncle, who was a part of my life. He's an active uncle. He's a great uncle. He had a kidney transplant. He would be denied a kidney transplant if he was drinking, and he kept drinking, and he didn't drink. He had kidney failure from other things, but just life. You know what I'm saying? But if he didn't follow the guidelines, and he's on that list for organ donating, and it's in the insurance, because I think his is, organ. Usually when you are on that list, or they give you an organ, it's almost $500,000, if not more. They tell you how you
Yep.
qualify, what you got to do to stay on that list, and if you don't follow that, you're done. And to be honest with you, I'm rocking with that. Also, with the insurance, you think somebody's gonna waste $1 million on you because you want to go get some Mad Dog 20? No, give it to somebody who really values their life and who
Mad Dog is
wants a
crazy.
second chance. Like, I'm sorry, you have to follow guidelines. This is for anybody. That's a
Yeah,
lot
and
of
it's the
money you
fact that
waste.
my bad, Kyla,
Oh,
but
go ahead.
it's the fact that she literally watched her husband go through everything that she's going through, and the fact that you don't want to better yourself, you feel me, and you going down the same path. You asking to kill yourself. Then her boyfriend, on the other hand, he decides to say, he's trying to save her life like the medical profession should be doing. Sir, your girlfriend decided not to listen to the medical profession, so how can we help her if she don't want to help herself? So he's saying that he wants to take her to Europe, but the doctors are telling him, sir, she might don't even make it. Y'all got to get the tickets to get there first. Y'all barely have the money to cover y'all expenses at the hospital. So, I'm just trying to figure out what the hell you think flying her to Peru gonna change if she's still drinking.
That's right that we gotta understand is that some people just don't deserve it. Like, if you feel like you
I meant
are a
Europe. I
person,
said Peru.
like, you're good, I think we got it. But yeah, you don't try to, like, fix your addiction and stuff like that, and don't try to change anything about it. Like, it's just kind of more like you're expecting the worst to happen. Like, you're gonna expect all these outcomes. You're gonna expect the worst. Like, you think people want to help somebody who wants to still be sick. Like after there's other people in line, there's thousands of people on wait lists for kidneys, hearts. People be needing it, and there are people who just don't care. They're like feel like that their life is in shambles now because they're not getting what they deserve. And I kind of hate that they go to social media to try to post it, try to have people feel bad for them, when in reality they the reason why they there. They put themselves there because they choose to not stop drinking. This woman put herself there because she choose to not stop drinking and continue to drink regardless, knowing that she needs that liver transplant. Like, no, like I'm sorry. Like you do not Nash, I'm not sorry. You don't deserve that shit. You deserve what you get because you choose to not help yourself. You deserve what you choose not to do.
I
Usually
agree.
with livers, it usually comes from somebody who just dies, who's a donor. So it can't just sit on ice like that. So imagine somebody playing with a bottle of liquor, and there's a liver right away ready for you. Right?
Oh, her
Yeah, you can't.
boyfriend, her
There you
boyfriend,
go.
when she's in a relationship, he was giving his liver to her.
Yep. So it has to be, April, somebody who is recently deceased or who is just gonna give it away, because a person cannot live without the liver. When they give an organ away like that, they usually find a donor who has just deceased, who is on that list to give away or donate their organs. It's not like it can wait on ice. Sometimes, like a heart, usually with organs, they have to be given away. They expire after a certain amount of time.
All right. So, well, since Miss Mamas couldn't listen and she did basically sound her death wish over, hopefully our ladies in the future can listen a little better. So, a Florida stripper. You know, we love our big booty strippers. A Florida stripper says she just found out that men don't care if a female is broke. She said she recently learned that a bitch being broke don't matter. As long as he fuck with you, who cares what's in your pockets? And hey, I agree. I definitely agree. I think women think too hard about what the fuck they think men like and want. That is not our job to dictate what the fuck they like and want. Do what you need to do for you and what you've been doing, and if he fuck with you, he fuck with you.
I definitely believe that, yeah, because we never cared about a woman's weed. At least to me, I've never heard a dude say, "Oh wait, how much money she making?" Cause I ain't fucking with her if she broke. Like I ain't never really heard that in that sense of like to where if she at least taking care of herself, she take care of herself like that. You know what I'm saying? She working at McDonald's, we'll say that, right? I guess some people consider that as broke. But, she working at McDonald's and shit, right? But as long as she's still doing what she needs to do, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not a bad thing at all. She's still doing what she needs to do, which is perfectly fine for me. Like, I'm okay with that. So, like I said, she could be working at McDonald's. Some people consider that broke, or Burger King, whatever. As long as she's, like, taking care of her hygiene and stuff like that, as long as she's smelling good, she don't look crazy, yeah. I mean, even she could be living with her. I mean, she should be living with her folks still, so it's okay. Like I said, as long as she's taking care of herself and doing what she needs to do, yeah, I don't see a reason why not.
Do any my other men feel that type of way? Do y'all not give a fuck if she got money or not, or is y'all more so with the new modern day that if she ain't making a certain amount of money, you can't be fucking with no broke bitch?
No, I don't feel like a woman has to make as much money as I'm making. You feel me? Nah, I don't feel that way though.
Kayla said in the chat, she's like saying you don't need to be dating if you're looking for a handout. So
If you're looking to use people, you don't need to be dating.
I can absolutely agree. My thing is that as two responsible adults, you were taking care of the things that you needed to take care of, your whole household, and I'm taking care of everything that I need to take care of, my whole household. If we decide to do this thing called life together, then we need to talk about how we're going to do that. And that's only after you went through the vetting process, the dating process, and courting, however you want to put it. But your finances and my finances shouldn't be the first thing on the table, but definitely discussed at the right time.
I think her name says Karina. I'm not sure I'm saying that right, but it says it's cool until she's in your pockets, and what is considered broke. So I think what's considered broke is like depending on how you. I guess this one kind of more just depends on how you look at it and how you want to determine it. I mean, if she's broke, to me, in my opinion, broke as in like if she's always looking for me to do something for her, like if she needs me to drive her everywhere, if she needs me to pay for her nails and all that stuff, like if she needs a lot of things from me, if she needs a lot from me, basically is what I'm more kind of going towards that. If she needs a lot from me and she can't really do too much for herself, I'm assuming, yeah, that's kind of like more she's broke. She can't really do too much for herself. She kind of can't really carry her own. So it's like, if you can't really do that much, then yeah, to me, you would be broke. You know what I'm saying? It couldn't be just that. And if she's in my pockets, is more what you said from your last comment. It's more of like she's not in my pockets. It's more because I want her to feel comfortable with the money I make, because I want her to feel like, yeah, she can get this, she can get that. It's not really too much she's in my pockets. It's more what I want her to have. So it's more of that type of source. Like I said, it depends on how you look at broke.
So depending on everybody's, so we can all agree, depending on everyone's definition of broke will determine how everything play out. Well, since we got count, well, shit, I'm glad we came to a motherfucking conclusion on that. Well, while we coming to conclusions, I got another one for y'all. So it has been concluded that Diddy will not be arrested over the whole viral video that went on between him and Cassie, him dragging her ass through the goddamn hallway. Apparently, they say the conduct that occurred was beyond the timeline from the time of the crime. From the statement involving the incident, it says, we are aware of the video that has been circulating online allegedly depicting Sean Combs assaulting a young woman in Los Angeles. We find the image extremely disturbing and difficult to watch. If the conduct depicted occurred in 2016, unfortunately, we will be unable to charge, as the conduct would have occurred beyond the timeline where a crime of assault can be prosecuted. As of today, law enforcement has not presented a case related to the attack depicted in the video against Mr. Combs. But we do encourage anyone who has been a victim or witness to a crime with him to report it to the law enforcement or reach out to our office for support from the Bureau of Victim Services. So basically, the video is too old. She waited too long. So I feel like more of that is speak the fuck up earlier. Don't wait 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 years.
Free R. Kelly.
No, not that. But all right, speaking on that situation, right? So like this is my take on it. I mean, I understand people have their morals, stuff like that too, and I understand there's a moral code that everyone feels like, yes, she should get justice and all that stuff. But she did take the money. She did agree. You know, this video was found years later. So, like, and then no conflict. We're going against the law. What statutes is like, there's really not much the police can really do. If we looking at it in that aspect, I understand. Yeah, what he did is wrong. He definitely should be serving time for all the stuff he has done. Yes, but we have to look at it like this though, for what you have done and what you won't do. So it's kind of like it's stuck in there. There's not much you really can do at all. By the way, I was gonna read some of the things that people said in the chat. From what Kayla said, she said probably because he paid her off, which is more likely so. Caroline says if they settled, why would he be charged? Right. You can settle and still be charged. From what Love says, you can settle and still be charged. He can't be charged because of the statute of limitations has already run on the assault. Kayla said he won't be in the statutes of limitations, yes. And then it doesn't matter from Eve. It don't matter if he even settled. You can be criminally found guilty as well as civilly.
Yeah, she was saying it don't matter whether he settled or not. He still can be criminally found guilty.
Right. So,
depends on the state and where he's at. So statute of limitations, like Kat was saying. So like in Michigan, it's 6 years for DV. I don't know where this happened, so you'd have to look up the years and statute of limitations when it comes to DV.
This was Los Angeles.
Yeah, you'd have to look up statute of limitations for that. So
I can pull that up right quick.
Well, in this case, they said if that video was in 2016, then it's too late. So it would have been 2017 for him to be charged for anything. And what we in 2024?
Right. Most statute of limitation is 7 years, so we 2 years.
Yeah, in about negative. 7 years.
Yep. So he couldn't be charged, but he also paid her off because it's probably some recent shit. If she went through that in 2016, imagine what she's been going through prior. You know what I'm saying? Previously or before she left. I wouldn't want to see it. So he settled because he knows he's guilty of beating her ass.
Absolutely. There's, I'm sure, a few private ass whoopings that weren't recorded in that home that were closer to the statutes of limitations. She just has no clue.
Mm-hmm.
And they say that Cassie's not the one who leaked the video. They say it was some news channel show or something like that leaked the video.
Like CNN?
Yeah, CNN.
Oh,
They
yeah.
say CNN is the one who had leaked the video.
I heard that Diddy was trying to pay the workers to get the hotel workers to get the video.
He did. He paid the hotel $50,000.
Oh, see, there you go.
And they accepted, but that doesn't mean they completely erased it. Also, there's the threat that the FBI could have gotten the video when they raided his home, and the word is his son releasing that bootleg diss track pissed them off, and that's why the video came out. And also, Cassie knows that he's done enough to get away with a lot of this abuse because he can and has been paying people off for years and years to get rid of any evidence, as we now know for fact based on this video being released.
Yeah, did he give them $50,000 a piece? Everybody who was there, or
I don't know. It just said the hotel. I don't know, but whatever hotel that was, they could be held liable as well because they were aware of an assault. But I don't know if the statute of limitations on that either. So
I doubt that he gave 50,000 a piece. I feel like 50,000 a piece. That video would be hitting still. It had to just be 50,000 flat.
Yeah, that's nasty.
Just because somebody unless they gave me 50,000 and I signed an NDA, shit, bets is still open. The fuck.
That's probably what he did, though. He's got everybody signing NDAs, so nobody can come after him. But that's unraveling now. And NDAs are totally void when it comes to commission of a crime also.
Yeah, even though he may have him sign stuff, but you understand, this is Diddy we're talking about here. So he has a lot of powerful people. So it's like we can say what we would do, but you really, when you know somebody who has power like that, like he had a lot of power. And people are saying like, oh no, I would have done this, I would have done that. You don't know what you do in that situation. I'm telling you right now. Because depending on how they were, if he had a bunch of guards there, he could have been threatening them and saying that if you could take this 50,000 or something else could happen to you. You don't know what could have happened in those situations. So I think that's kind of more, we have to kind of look at it in that standpoint. We have to look at it as he's a man with power, strong influence. He can do whatever he wants and it can be covered up just like that. And it's very simple, it's easy as that too. That's what it can be. And I noticed because, like I said, you look at other videos, people are saying like they could do things to people without having to do anything. They could say a lot without doing a lot.
And the other thing about it is because nobody, a lot of people that speak on this don't have any true criminal knowledge background when it comes to studying law, criminal justice, or whatever. You hire lawyers for a reason. That lawyer was going to tell her best options from the jump. That's the reason why she settled what she settled, and all the information came out after the fact. Because then the other part about it is, even though, when it comes to domestic violence, you don't have to press charges. The police still can. So there's a lot of things that take place, and it's a whole bunch of whatever. You can say, well, I don't want to press criminal charges or whatever, blah, 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 blah. The police will say, well, fuck it, I can. The federal government can say, well, fuck it, I will. So it's not about really half the time about what you want. So with her settling, that could not have been her case. That could have been just the government saying that they want to take him to court on it. But like I said, they having to the judge having to decide, no, it's past this or whatever. So it's a lot of different things that takes place. The reason why shit happens the way it happens that a lot of people do not understand. There's so many things that's put in place for things to happen the way it happened, and how the reason why this situation happened the way it did. That's why she was smart with what she did, and she took her legal counsel's advice, and she got her money and got the fuck down.
And also be real clear, Diddy and his attorneys didn't settle shit. She went after his corporation. That was a business decision. Being that I'm on the other side of that, I work for an insurance company. I see that all day. We will absolutely want to settle to keep you from releasing what it is we don't want people to know. That was the reason they settled. It had nothing to do with him. It was the people that are a part of the corporation. Like, she came after him almost like as an employee as well. So yeah, if I see, oh hey, yeah, we don't want any of this coming out about you and we're associated, no, give her what she's asking for. We don't pay money because people don't always pay money because they're saying they're wrong. It's literally to make you go away. It's called nuisance. This was not a nuisance issue, however. Whatever information her attorney revealed to them in discovery and depositions, if there were any, because we don't know the backstory and how long this was all going on, they found some stuff that they absolutely knew would make them have to pay more if they didn't just settle with her up front the way they did. That was not Puffy/Diddy's decision whatsoever. That's how you know how bad it must have been.
I will say this though, and I'm gonna say this to the chat. I used to be one of them people that said, "Why didn't she tell sooner?" And I've questioned what she's been through. I'm gonna tell you, as somebody who did her clinicals in ER and seen what people go through with DV, it's nasty work. It's nasty work, and I wish one of y'all motherfuckers would sit the fuck up and say this to your fucking daughter if she's ever in that situation. And I pray nobody ever has to go through that. I used to be somebody that say, why wouldn't she just leave? Why wouldn't she just tell? She's just after money. But when I seen God put me in a position to see what some of these women and men go through, just to be transparent with you, and I hate to speak on it, one of the woman ran to the hospital. This was her last resort. He mutilated her genitals because she wanted to leave. He was beating her ass. I wish somebody in the fuck would. I was one of the people saying, why not just leave? Why didn't she know? Why didn't she tell sooner? Or why didn't they? Because I'm not going to make this just a gender thing. It's harder than you think.
It is.
It's way harder than you think. It's way harder. And she definitely deserved more than what the fuck she got. So while she got out of there, she did. I just done seen some shit. Some men or women will threaten the lives of the victim. It's way harder. I used to be like, like I'm saying when I'm hearing the comments, or they should have told sooner, or why didn't she leave, or why didn't this, or I'm questioning this. Man, when you see what people go through and why they tried to leave the way that they did, you'll be like, damn, I didn't know it was this complicated. Also opens me up to think like a lot of women would do anything for men with money. I wouldn't.
But it's also a love thing also, because a lot of people don't have love. So I'm on the same thing you on. We don't know what the fuck people go through and what the hell they have going on, right? So I've witnessed a few girls who grew up, with no daddy. They ain't really have no father figures in their life. So it's like once they got older and they got a little attention from men, it was like boom, the niggas got them. Like, once they realized men was giving them attention, it's over with. So now, you feel me, they running into different men of different calibers and shit, and then they end up in fucked up positions because they looking for something that they never had. So now that these dudes is giving them everything that they've been wanting for all these years, they trapped now. Like, they all in. It's too late. But then once the relationship start going sour, he done did so much good shit for her in her eyes. Bitch, he the king. So how can I leave this man when all I ever wanted was love and he gave that to me, at least for the first 6, 7, 8 months or first year or two? So, you feel me? Like she said, we don't know what the fuck these females be going through, what they be looking for, and why the fuck they stay.
Men too.
One reason is love and money.
It's not just women, it's also men. And a lot of it, we also have to think about the substance abuse that goes along with these types of lifestyles. And it don't even have to be a rich motherfucker, because my mama, like I am a I don't want to say a victim of domestic violence, because my dad never hit me, but I watched my dad beat my mama ass plenty of times growing up. And her last straw was one night we came home from church. He had been drinking. He told me to get out of the car. I went in the house. About 3 minutes later, we heard the horn honking, and he was literally beating my mama ass on the outside of the car. My mama was still in her seatbelt. And when he finally finished, I guess he gave him a look and he ran. and she tried to run him over with it with her car. She jumped 2 ditches and broke a picnic table with I think it was like a '93 Crown Vic. Like I'll never forget that day. He blacked both of her eyes. Like
Not
my
the
mama, her eyes
93.
were so swollen she couldn't even open her eyes. Busted her eardrums on her left side of her head. Like it was horrible. And that wasn't the first time, it was just the last. But it is hard, especially when there's kids involved. Like it's so many different factors that go along with it: substance abuse, psychological, kids, like she said, just wanting to be felt like love, because my mom's dad died when she was 16, so she didn't, and he wasn't ever really there anyway. um so it's a lot. It's a lot that goes into that. But Kyla, I wish you would have been on this app this weekend.
Hey, in the process of this Diddy and Cassie situation, it is very important that if you know somebody that knows somebody that's been in that situation, when they're ready, help them out. If they not, leave them be. Right? We understand that people have to move around on their own cognizance. When they are ready, help them out, refer them to therapists and different things of that
Yeah,
nature.
I wasn't talking
Other than
about
that,
that part though. I was talking about the men on this app and how they were saying what they were basically trying to justify what the fuck Diddy did to her.
Okay, so
Like,
boom.
that's not even what I'm talking about.
I understand what you said, but it sounds like that's gonna go a whole nother route. We definitely could jump back on that as soon as the morning show over with.
Okay.
Cause I ain't gonna flat. I would love to bring that conversation back up, and I would love to pink collar right back in this motherfucker too. But from the chat, Love said that her mom had a friend who was in a domestic violence relationship, and when she finally tried to leave, he dismembered her and burned her. And she says, it's hard for women who aren't being abused to leave no good man. Imagine difficulty of someone in the public eye and there's money and livelihood involved. So if it's hard for our regular women out here to leave these domestic violent relationships, and these niggas broke as fuck and they ain't got shit to their name, imagine a celebrity in the limelight with money and basically controlling your whole fucking life.
And honestly, I've never been in a domestic violence situation, but I was in first grade and trigger alert, I was molested. I probably would have never spoken a word of it had my best friend not told her mother, and her mother is the one that reported it and let my parents know. I was a baby. I am now 40 years old. I have experienced things in dating and relationships that I'm still too afraid and ashamed to speak on. It does not change with age, and I'm strong as fuck. I'm the type that sit and say, I wish a motherfucker would. Hey, you don't know until you're actually in it. Freeze like a deer in headlights, and then who do I tell? They're not going to believe me. What do I say? What comes next? Am I built for this? What is it going to... You just don't know what a person is going through. So it is very easy for a woman who experiences something, or a boy, man, child, whatever, to experience something and not have the strength to speak on it right away. It may take years.
I ain't gonna fly. I totally agree. The only reason why I personally can say that if you tired of that shit, you can leave. Like, and if anybody feels some type of way about me saying that, I'm sorry, but that's on you. I want to say thank y'all. I appreciate everybody that came in. I appreciate anybody that slid through, even if you didn't stay. I appreciate anybody who decided to conversate with me. I fuck with y'all, and I hope I see y'all next week. Remember, I fuck with y'all every day, Monday through Friday, except for the weekends. That link at the top is for domestic violence. It's just to bring a little awareness and encouragement to our men and women. If y'all want to look more into it, please click that link. It's going to be a story. It's going to be some other links. It's going to be some numbers. Anybody need help, go ahead and do that. Oh, one last thing before I go. YouTube. Caphouse has their YouTube channel. Our morning show will be on YouTube. Please, I encourage everyone to like, subscribe, and watch the video. The link was at the top, but don't go where it was. Thank y'all again. A Friends of Friends will be open or either the Vibe Tribe. Anybody want to ping Kyla, Boney ass back up in this motherfucker so we can continue that conversation? I would love that so much. Thank y'all again. Y'all free to run your mouth.
Caphouse Water Show.